Hey everybody, good afternoon for most of you, good morning still for me. I got 5 minutes of morning left. Um, Figured I'd do something like really live instead of, I usually kind of do things in my studio and, and put things out to share. But this week I talked about being helpful, and I talked about the difference between being harmful and being hurtful. And so today I want to talk about being hopeful, because hope is really essential to life. There's a thing that we had in the military called the rule of threes, and it's basically you can go 3 seconds without any blood in your body. You can go 3 hours without shelter. You can go 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, and so on and so on. But basically, if you go 3 years without hope, you begin to die spiritually. And that's why hope is so important. But there's something about hope that I want to share with you guys, and this is really cool. Think about this. Hope is a door. It's a doorway into something. But in order for a door to be a door, the door must have a hinge. Because without a hinge, a door is just another wall. And hope without a hinge will actually be a hindrance to you instead of a help. Really important stuff. So you say, okay, Derek, what is the hinge? And I'll tell you exactly what it is. The hinge is change. Listen, the only thing that is consistent in life is change. Change will come in at the most inopportune and most unexpected time and shake up your whole paradigm. Change happens, but you have to understand that in order for hope to hinge on change, there has to be something to be hopeful for. And there was an old saying that I used to say back in my preaching days, is that hope is the accelerator pedal to faith. In other words, that faith is this grand engine, but without a gas pedal to activate it, it's worthless. It's just a boat anchor. And that's what, when we talk about hope, hope has to have something to be hopeful for. And so in this particular season, in this particular country, this is a time of hope, because there were things that were going on in this country that were stealing hope from many people. And now it has come around that hope is now being made available. In other words, hope is being democratized. How about that? How about that? So now we have some things to be hopeful for, but here's the thing, that a slave is hopeful because of the chance of freedom. A mother is hopeful because of the chance of having the baby. An investor is hopeful that the market will be favorable for a positive return on investment. In other words, there has to be something, some driver of change that gives hope something to hang on. And listen, if you have hope, you can hang on, because hope then can become a handle, or hope can become a hook. It can be something that you can actually, put your dreams on. You can pin something to it. But if you don't have hope, I'm telling you, spiritual death is imminent. You absolutely have to have hope. And for everyone right now that is celebrating this season of hope in this country, I celebrate with you. I mean, listen, I'm not going to get really political here, but I'm going to say that we have survived some truly dark times in this country. And now we're emerging from this. And there are going to be some things that happen that can impact our lives in a very, very positive way. And here's the beauty of hope, is that hope, like love, is contagious. And listen, if you want to be a super spreader of something, be a super spreader of love, be a super spreader of joy, be a super spreader of hope. Because here's the thing, that when you are filled with hope, when hope bubbles up inside of you, when hope swells up and fills you up, that hope springs eternal. And when hope springs from you, guess what? Somebody else is gonna catch hope. You could actually be the hinge for someone else's hope. That, y'all, is really exciting. Because I love to be able to be a help to someone. I love to be able to share hope with people. I love to be able to share love with people. This makes me more excited than anything else. And listen, I'm going to say something here, and this is very counterintuitive, because people will say, don't let anyone steal your joy. Don't let anyone steal your hope. Well, listen, joy is something that's internal. It's different than happiness. Joy is something that you have in spite of all the circumstances around you, whereas happiness is dependent upon conditions around you. And people will say, well, don't let anyone steal your hope. But listen, there are things that come along that if there is no chance of change, then hope has nothing to hinge on. And this door that you should be walking through now becomes a wall that's an inhibition or a barricade or a barrier to you. So you have to find where the change is, or, and here's the challenge, if you can't find the change, be the change, make the change. You be the hinge upon which the hopes of others can swing their door of hope on. And if you do this, I promise you that you will become a harbinger of hope. You'll become a messenger of hope. And watch this. When you walk into a room, when you walk into a situation, people are going to be excited about you coming in. Have you ever noticed this? Some people, when they enter into a situation, when they enter into a room or enter into a building, that immediately the mood drops. Don't be that guy or that girl. Be the one that when you walk in, somebody says, wow, something just changed. The atmosphere of the room is different. It's suddenly more pleasant here. It's suddenly more peaceful here. It's suddenly more joyous because you stepped in. Your hope is not only for you. Your hope is for everyone in your sphere of influence. And when you have hope, you become the door. Or you become the hinge that the door swings on. That's a better way of putting it. But anyway, I'd love to hear what you think about this. Hit me up with the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your stories of hope. I'd love to hear how hope is manifesting in your life. I'd love to hear how you're manifesting hope in others' lives. I'm really excited to hear about that. And I would love to hear from you. You can email me at contact@derekday.com. I'd love to hear from you, and check me out wherever I am on social media, because I'm all over the place. And I love being connected, love staying connected. But listen, this is a time of hope. So get your hope on and share it, spread it with everybody around you. I love you, and I'll talk to you later.